What if everything you thought you needed from others was already inside you? For so long, you've been led to believe that your worth, your beauty, your essence depended on external validation, the approval, love, and acknowledgement of others. But what if that was never the case? You, chosen one, have always carried a power within you that is magnetic and divine. That power was never meant to be controlled by others, yet for years it was hidden, dimmed by those who feared what you could become. They didn't just stumble upon the idea of dimming your light. It was a calculated move, born out of fear and insecurity. These people, whether they were lovers, family members, or so-called friends, recognized something in you that they couldn't handle. You walked into the room with an energy that was different, powerful, and radiant, and that frightened them. To them, your presence was a mirror, reflecting their own inadequacies, their own lack of confidence. Instead of rising to meet you at your level, they chose the easier path, to tear you down, piece by piece. Their tactics were subtle at first, hidden behind smiles and compliments that felt off. They would give just enough approval to keep you guessing, to make you believe that you needed more of their validation to feel complete. They would withdraw affection when you were at your strongest, knowing full well that their absence would make you question your worth. It was all part of a strategy to keep you dependent on their crumbs of recognition, to keep you in a state of constant yearning. This wasn't love. It was manipulation, designed to control you and prevent you from recognizing the immense power you carried within. You began to notice the pattern. Each time you reached a new height, whether in your personal growth, your career, or your self-image, they would find ways to minimize it. "That's not a big deal," they'd say, or "anyone could have done that." They downplayed your achievements, not because they didn't see them, but because they did. Your success made them feel small. Your beauty, your intelligence, your natural light were a threat to the version of themselves they had created, a version that only worked if you stayed beneath them. And it wasn't just one person. Sometimes it was your own family who couldn't bear to see you shine too brightly. Maybe it was the sibling who always found a way to one-up your accomplishments, or the parent who never gave you the praise you deserved. They feared that if they acknowledged your greatness, it would somehow diminish their own. And so they withheld love and validation, thinking that this would keep you in your place. But they underestimated you. For a long time you internalized this treatment. You thought there was something wrong with you, something lacking. You questioned whether you were truly worthy of love, affection, or admiration. This was their goal, to plant seeds of doubt in your mind so that you would rely on them for reassurance. They wanted you small, dependent, and insecure. But what they didn't realize was that every attempt to diminish you was only fueling your inner strength, even if you didn't see it at the time. They couldn't stand next to your light because it revealed too much of their own darkness. Your growth, your beauty, your evolving sense of self. It was all too much for them to handle. Instead of celebrating you, they tried to contain you. They wanted you to doubt yourself so that you would never outgrow them. But what they didn't understand is that you can't dim the sun. No matter how much they tried to cloud your vision, the light inside you was never truly gone. It was only waiting for the moment when you would finally realize your power. The moment they feared most has arrived. You've seen through their strategy, and now there's no going back. They wanted you small, but you're destined to be big. They wanted you silent, but your voice is meant to be heard. They wanted you dependent, but now you stand on your own, radiant and free. Their strategy has failed, and in the process, you've discovered the depth of your own resilience. You were never meant to be contained. The shift happened slowly at first, so subtle they didn't even notice. While they were busy trying to keep you in a box, something inside you was changing. You began to pull back your energy, not in defeat, but in quiet preparation for what was to come. What they didn't realize was that every insult, every act of withholding, was sharpening your awareness. You started to see their behavior for what it was, fear disguised as control, insecurity masked as criticism. And once you saw the truth, the game was over. You see, they never expected you to rise above it. They thought their manipulations would last forever, that you would always crave their approval. But the thing about awakening is that it only takes one moment of clarity. Once you understand your worth, once you see the game for what it is, you can never go back. And that's what happened to you. You woke up one day and realized that their validation was meaningless. You didn't need their love, their praise, or their acknowledgement. You had everything you needed within you all along. They never saw it coming. They thought they had you figured out. In their minds, you were someone who needed them, someone who would always seek their approval. But now, their perception of you has shifted entirely. The same people who once belittled you are now grappling with their own feelings of inadequacy. They see you standing tall, confident, and unbothered, and it drives them crazy. How could you possibly be thriving without their validation? How could you be so radiant without their approval? Some of them are romanticizing the past, replaying old memories in their heads, trying to figure out where they went wrong. They think about the moments they had with you, wondering if they could have done something differently to keep you in their lives. But now it's too late. The version of you they once knew no longer exists. You've grown, evolved, and ascended to a level they can no longer reach. They realize this, and it's eating them alive. Others are filled with regret, feeling the weight of their own actions. They can't stop thinking about how they treated you, how they dismissed your light, only to watch you shine brighter than ever. They regret not appreciating you when they had the chance, but that chance has long passed. You've moved on, and they are left to sit with the consequences of their choices. And then there are those who remain in contempt. They see your transformation, but instead of accepting responsibility for their actions, they cling to their denial. They tell themselves that you were the problem, that you've somehow changed for the worse. But deep down, they know the truth. They know that their attempts to control you backfired, and now they can't stand the sight of your success. It reminds them of everything they failed to do for themselves. Their perception of you has shifted so dramatically that it's hard for them to reconcile the person they once knew with the person you've become. They thought they could suppress you, but now they see that you've outgrown them entirely. You no longer fit into the small, confined version of yourself they were comfortable with. You are expansive, limitless, and they can't keep up. The beauty of this shift is that it has nothing to do with them and everything to do with you. Their opinions, their judgments, their attempts to control you, they no longer matter. You are free from their grasp, and in that freedom, you've discovered a love for yourself that is unshakable. The shift in their perception is a reflection of the shift that has happened within you. You are no longer the person they thought they could control. You are so much more. And here's the real power in this transformation. It's not just a shift, it's a rebirth. What you've experienced is the kind of liberation that few people ever reach. If you've been feeling that unshakable self-love, knowing you've outgrown the opinions and judgments of those who once tried to control you, it's time to take that power to the next level. The Obsidian Inner Order is where chosen ones like you gather to elevate beyond the limits anyone tried to place on them. Inside the Inner Order, we don't just talk about breaking free. We show you how to fully embody that freedom, to build on this unshakable love and turn it into an unstoppable force. You've already made the shift. Now it's time to amplify it. The link is in the description. Your blossoming is something they never anticipated. They tried to hold you back, to keep you from fully realizing your beauty, your power, your sensuality. But now, as you stand in your truth, you've become something far greater than they could ever imagine. Your sensuality is no longer something to be hidden or dimmed. It is an integral part of your being, and it flows through you effortlessly. You walk with an air of confidence that can't be faked or manufactured. It comes from the deep well of self-love you've cultivated through your healing. This blossoming isn't just physical, it's spiritual. You've tapped into a divine source of energy that radiates from within you, touching everything and everyone around you. Your presence has become a force to be reckoned with, and it is impossible for anyone to ignore. Those who once tried to control you now find themselves mesmerized by the very thing they tried to suppress. Your light is too bright, your energy too powerful, and your sensuality too magnetic to be contained. You've learned to embrace every part of yourself, including the parts that others made you feel ashamed of. The softness, the vulnerability, the sensuality, all of it is a testament to your power. You are fully in tune with your body, your mind, and your spirit, and that alignment has made you unstoppable. You no longer shrink in the presence of others' insecurities. You no longer hide parts of yourself to make others comfortable. You stand tall, unapologetically yourself, and in doing so, you've become a beacon of light for others. Your sensuality is now a reflection of the love you have for yourself. It is not about seeking external validation or approval, but about honoring the divine feminine or masculine within you. You've come to understand that your sensuality is a gift, a powerful force that connects you to the world around you. And because you are so deeply rooted in self-love, your sensuality is now something sacred, something that no one can take away from you. Those who once tried to belittle your beauty, your body, or your spirit are now in awe of the transformation. They watch as you flourish, as you move through the world with grace and power, and they can't help but feel the impact of your presence. They once saw you as someone they could control, but now they see you as a mythical figure, someone who has transcended the limitations they tried to place on you. You've broken free from the expectations of others, and in doing so, you've created a ripple effect that is felt across timelines. Your energy, your presence, your self-love, it has shifted not only your life, but the lives of those who come into contact with you. You are no longer confined by the opinions or judgments of others. You are free, and in that freedom, you've found a love for yourself that is pure, powerful, and everlasting. This blossoming is just the beginning. As you continue to grow in your self-love and sensuality, you will find that the world around you shifts in response. The people who once tried to suppress you will either fall away or rise to meet you at your level. But either way, you are no longer concerned with their opinions. You are focused on your own journey, your own growth, and your own love. And that is the most powerful thing of all. The emotional aftermath of your transformation has left them in shock. They never expected you to rise, to flourish, to become the radiant being you are today. They underestimated your strength, your resilience, and your ability to heal. And now, as they watch you from a distance, they are forced to confront the reality of their actions. For some, the weight of their choices is unbearable. They can't stop thinking about how they treated you, how they dismissed your worth, only to realize too late that you were irreplaceable. These individuals are left grappling with a deep sense of regret. They replay moments in their minds, wondering what they could have done differently. They think about the times they belittled you, the times they withheld love or affection, and it haunts them. They can't escape the feeling that they made a grave mistake, one that they will have to live with for the rest of their lives. They see you now, thriving, glowing, and it serves as a constant reminder of what they lost. But regret isn't the only emotion they're feeling. Some of them remain in denial, unable to accept the consequences of their actions. They tell themselves that you were the problem, that you've somehow changed for the worse. They cling to their old narratives, trying to justify their behavior. But deep down, they know the truth. They know that they misjudged you, that they took your light for granted. And now they are left with nothing but their own emptiness. For others, the realization of what they've lost has come as a shock to their system. They never saw you as someone who would outgrow them, someone who would evolve beyond their control. But now, as they watch you ascend, they are left feeling small, insignificant, in comparison to the person you've become. They are filled with a sense of inadequacy, knowing that they can never reach the heights you've achieved. Your growth has exposed their stagnation, and it's a hard pill for them to swallow. Some of them feel a strange mix of admiration and jealousy. They are in awe of your transformation, but they can't help but feel envious of the light you now carry. They wish they had the strength to do what you've done, to rise above their circumstances and heal from their past. But instead of celebrating your success, they feel bitterness. They are left wondering why they couldn't have the same level of self-love, the same sense of inner peace. and that jealousy eats away at them, deepening their feelings of regret. The emotional impact of your transformation is not something they can ignore. It has forced them to confront their own insecurities, their own failures, and their own lack of growth. They see you now, and it's as if they are looking at a different person entirely. The version of you that they once knew no longer exists, and that reality is difficult for them to accept. They thought they had you figured out, but now they realize they never truly knew you at all. In the end, they are left with nothing but the weight of their own actions. They may try to move on, to find someone else to fill the void you left behind, but they will never find another you. Your presence, your energy, your love, it was one of a kind, and they know it. And now they are left in shock, unable to reconcile the person you've become with the person they tried to suppress. They thought they could control you, but now they are left powerless, watching from the sidelines as you continue to rise. Your presence lingers in their minds like a song they can't stop humming. It's not just the physical memory of you. It's something much deeper, something they can't quite put into words. Your energy, your aura, has become so magnetic, so unforgettable, that even those who mistreated you can't seem to shake the thought of you. You've imprinted yourself into their consciousness in a way that transcends mere memory. They may try to move on, but they can't escape the pull of your presence. What they don't realize is that it was never about your physical appearance, your beauty, or the surface-level traits they once fixated on. It was always about the energy you carried, the deep divine force within you that they never took the time to understand. Now, as they look back, they realize they missed something crucial. They were so focused on trying to control you, to keep you small, that they overlooked the true source of your power, your essence. This essence, this divine energy, has now become something they can't forget. It's not just that you've moved on or that you're thriving. It's that the version of you that has emerged from the ashes of their mistreatment is something they can't ignore. You've become a mythical figure in their minds, someone who was once within their grasp but now exists in a realm far beyond them. They are left wondering how they could have misjudged you so badly, how they could have let someone like you slip through their fingers. Your presence haunts them because it's a reminder of everything they failed to appreciate. They think about the times they dismissed you, the times they overlooked your light, and it fills them with regret. They can't stop replaying moments in their minds, wondering what they could have done differently. But now, it's too late. You've ascended to a level they can no longer reach, and they are left to sit with the consequences of their actions. It's not just regret that keeps them thinking about you. It's also a deep sense of awe. They are mesmerized by the version of you that has emerged, the confidence, the self-love, the power you now embody. It's something they never anticipated. They find themselves drawn to you in ways they can't explain, but they know they can never have access to you again. Your energy is too pure, too divine, and they are left standing on the outside, looking in. Even those who tried to move on, who found new relationships or distractions, can't seem to escape your presence. It's as if your energy has left a mark on their souls, a mark that no one else can replace. They may try to fill the void with others, but they will always be left wanting, because no one else can replicate the power you carried. You've become unforgettable, not because of what you did, but because of who you are. Your presence is a reflection of your healing, your growth, and your self-love. It's a testament to the power you've cultivated within yourself. And now, even those who once tried to dim your light are left mesmerized by the brilliance of your transformation. They can't forget you because you've become everything they feared you would be: radiant, powerful, and untouchable. Healing has been a long and winding road, but now, as you stand in your power, you realize that every step was necessary. You've faced your traumas head-on, and in doing so, you've become something far greater than you ever imagined. This healing process has not only transformed you, it has created a ripple effect in the lives of those around you. Your energy, your light is so powerful that it forces others to confront their own shortcomings, even if they don't realize it. As you heal, your aura grows stronger, more magnetic. People are drawn to you in ways they can't explain. They feel your energy before they even see you. They sense the depth of your self-love, the strength of your spirit, and it either draws them in or pushes them away. But regardless of how they react, one thing is clear: your transformation is undeniable. The beauty of this healing process is that it's not just about letting go of the past, it's about reclaiming your future. You've learned to love yourself in ways you never thought possible. You've embraced every part of yourself, including the parts that others tried to make you feel ashamed of. And in doing so, you've become whole. This wholeness is what makes you so powerful, so untouchable. You no longer seek validation from anyone outside of yourself because you know that everything you need is already within you. But with this newfound power comes an unexpected consequence. As you heal, those who once hurt you are forced to confront their own demons. Your transformation acts as a mirror, reflecting back to them all the ways they've fallen short. Some will try to deny it, to continue living in their own delusions. But others will be left with no choice but to face the truth. They will see the ways they tried to control you, the ways they belittled you, and it will haunt them. Your healing has become a catalyst for change, not just in your own life, but in the lives of others. People who once underestimated you are now being forced to reckon with their own insecurities, their own lack of growth. They see you thriving, and it triggers something deep within them. Some will be inspired by your journey, while others will be consumed by jealousy. But either way, your healing has set off a chain reaction that can't be stopped. The most powerful part of this process is that it has nothing to do with them. Your healing is for you and you alone. You've learned to put yourself first, to prioritize your own well-being above all else. And in doing so, you've unlocked a level of self-love that is rare, powerful, and pure. This self-love is now overflowing, touching every aspect of your life. And because of that, you've become untouchable. As you continue to heal, you will find that the world around you shifts in response. People who once tried to suppress you will either rise to meet you at your level or fall away. But no matter what happens, you are no longer concerned with their reactions. You are focused on your own growth, your own journey, and your own love. And that is the most powerful thing of all. Look at what you've become. You've transformed into something far greater than anyone who tried to suppress you could have ever imagined. Their attempts to possess, control, or dim your light were all rooted in fear. Fear of your power, fear of your potential. But now, that power is fully yours, and it's untouchable. You are no longer concerned with the opinions or judgments of others, because you've reclaimed your self-love, your sensuality, and your light. Embrace the new you, chosen ones, for this version of you is unstoppable. And remember, those who tried to keep you small now stand in the shadow of your greatness, unable to touch the divine being you have become.